Hello, Earth signs. This is going to be your love reading for February 2017. If you hear some noises in the background, I put on some ambient music very quietly because I do have some noisy neighbors. It's also a beautiful Shabbat. It's just wonderful out here. While I was praying and gathering for your reading, the sun was just shining on my face. Now the sun's in a different position, but the ambient music kind of keeps that feeling. That feeling of opening up a window on a Saturday morning. I have my cup of coffee, and ooh, that's hot. And I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I will have a little lozenge, and then hopefully I won't be much of a rambler today. Alright, the first earth sign that's coming up is Capricorn. After that, it will be Taurus, and after that, it will be Virgo. Let's go ahead and start with Capricorn. The card that I pulled up for you when I was asking for information that Capricorns needed to know for the love life in the month of February 2017, I pulled the Knight of Pentacles upright. This lets me know it's you because there's pentacles. That's the earth suit. And the Knight of Pentacles is a person. Anytime there's a court card. So I think this is you. It could also represent somebody in your life. Doesn't matter male or female. But if it's a man, well, I guess if it's anybody, they're going to be mature. Even though they're just a knight, they're mature. It's an ambitious person. They're determined and responsible. Very tranquil. And if this is somebody that you're seeking in your love life, it says to be patient because they will hold back until they're sure of you. I mean, that's the responsible thing to do. You don't want to just freely give your heart away to anyone. You're very lucky this is not in reverse because it's not very good when it's in reverse. Oh, and if you do get to be with this person, or if this is you, there's just this unwavering amount of devotion. You are completely loyal. And talking about how this person can hold back, they may stay quiet about their love, or you. I mean, Capricorns can be a little shy. I've known a few. You may be holding back how much you love someone. Okay? And the other person's going to have to be patient. The last thing about this card is a stranger might be interested in you, but they're not really acting on it. Or you're interested in a stranger and you're not acting on it. Okay? That's your situation. That's you. I got some clarification cards from the Lover's Tarot deck. The first one was the King of Cups in reverse. Because I gave a reading to a Capricorn not too long ago, I think this King of Cups is going to clarify you. But it could very well clarify the other person or just the situation in general. When I say King of Cups, I automatically think Scorpio. But that's not true. It could be any water sign or it could just be anybody. I just automatically think of emotions when I think of what water and cups, and the most emotional signs are those water signs. See, when it's upright, this person is a master of their emotions, their spirituality. And if you are in love with somebody but you're holding it back, it could be because you can't get a handle on your emotions right now. You're a little scared of them. You're not, but you're holding back, but you're still not weighing the pros and cons of the relationship. You're not listening to your intuition. Let's see if there's any other cards. Okay. It could be that you don't feel good about yourself because you don't have a lot of influence. And you think it's just not the right time to be in a relationship. And that could be true. Maybe you're still working on yourself. But your feelings aren't neutral. You know you want this person. This could be a friend who's turning into a crush. But if there are any issues in having a relationship with this person, it'll be a little difficult for them to be solved. And I don't know if this is you or the other person. One of you may think the other might be playing games, but I don't really see that from this card. So if somebody thinks that, it's not true. When I see this in reverse, this is a person running from themselves, their true selves. And then all of a sudden, you have these feelings for someone, and you haven't really figured out who you are, or you're not willing to admit it. And that's probably why you're holding back. You are very emotional. They're out of control, your emotions are, and you're depressed. You're running from your problems. You could be trying to gain control somehow by manipulating others with their emotions. You're noticed by your love interest, but they're not really concentrated on you. That's probably because you're holding back. They think you're not interested. So there could be some kind of scandal. Maybe you have been dishonest. You could be a rogue, promiscuity, even addiction, like alcohol, drugs. But there's some kind of injustice going on. And I think that's very relevant to the reading because the next card is Justice in reverse. But just staying on this for a little bit. Here, this means passionate love. So this would be the opposite. Maybe you kind of tested the waters and you realized being in a relationship with them would just be kind of boring. Maybe instead of going from a friendship to a crush, maybe you're going from a crush to a friendship. But I really think it's the other way around. And you haven't discovered the passion yet. And either you don't know or you're denying your real motives, your desires, your needs. Maybe you don't really want to admit that you like this person. That's what I would think. And you're repressing your sexual appetite and your emotions. Yeah, this is definitely you. Why are you so scared, Mr. Capricorn? Or Miss Capricorn, sorry. I was just thinking of something of a sign of respect. Your emotional needs aren't getting met. So you're going to have to get some balance, relax, and try to make a move. I don't think you're ready for that, but that's the only way something's going to change. But here, talking about injustice, coming to your next clarifying card, because the King of Cups just kind of fell out, and injustice is what I would have pulled out on my own. So I'm glad that I got both. With, I call it injustice, but it's really justice in reverse. It makes me think of a Libra. So a Libra could be someone you're interested in, or somebody who hurt you in the past due to some kind of betrayal. Upright, it means becoming a new person. Here, you haven't changed. It's like you don't know your worth, or you've settled in the past and you don't want to settle this time. So the fact that you started out as friends, possibly, and you're going into a romance, possibly if you would say something, you're afraid you might settle and it might end up being just a friendship with no passion. But you don't really know yourself. This also talks about your intentions may be sabotaged. I'm not sure what that's about, Capricorn. I think because you're in such a volatile state right now, imbalanced, you may not be really looking for true love. You may just be looking for somebody to satisfy that emotional void that you have. And the injustice is severe. I think you're not being fair to this other person. I think you've slept with them as a way to cure your depression, or just because you're being promiscuous right now. So any good intentions you had are sabotaged, self-sabotaged, I would say. Here, this is a need for brutal honesty. This would be the opposite. So if you have to tell this person that you're not interested, don't be brutal. Because they're probably a good match for you, but you just, for some reason, can't see it, or you can't deal with it right now. And you don't really know the difference between what's right and what's true right now. You feel like they're not on your level. You think you're a 10, but they aren't, but yet you still have these feelings. You're not really sure what they're about. And it could be that they are just a friend, okay? And they could just be a really good friend, but you need to tell them that, but not in a brutal way, such as, I have no desire for you whatsoever, type of thing. Because every action you take will have a reaction. You need to be objective, because right now you're not. If you have multiple lovers, be objective and find one that will suit you. If you happen to be a polyamorous type of person, find a few that will suit you. That's all I have for that one. The last card that I pulled from you is from the Romance Angel Oracle cards. It's the advice or a clarification. I pulled up separation. And it says, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. If you're single, I think you've recently separated. But you already have somebody kind of in the wings. Not that you were cheating, but they were your friend. And now that you're separated, you're trying to get yourself together. But you know you might want to take this friendship somewhere. That's why it's not going to be easy, because you just got out of a relationship. You're on the rebound a little bit. So it's not going to be a really peaceful time. It could be that this person you're thinking of is somebody you separated from, and you're having a hard time. Maybe you want to reunite, but you're not sure if that's a good idea. But from what I see in all of this, with the King of Cups in reverse, this is somebody who betrayed somebody, and they're wearing the mask of the King of Cups. And I don't know if you've betrayed somebody or somebody betrayed you. But if you betrayed somebody, it's like you can't deal with the injustice that you did to someone, or can't deal with injustice that was done to you. And so there was a separation, and you're just not on stable ground enough to have a new relationship right away. So you're holding back with this new friendship turned love. And you may be playing a little bit of games. You're not trying to, but you are. You need to do this new love interest some justice. Tell them the truth, but not the brutal truth. And they may just wait around for you. You never know. But don't just sleep around with them or become friends with benefits to suit your emotional and sexual repression. Okay? Alright, Capricorns, that was your reading for February 2017. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And you can check your other signs if that didn't resonate. I hope you gleaned from it what you could. But that's your reading. Now I'm moving on to Taurus. Hello, Taurians. Let me set out your reading real quick. I only have a little bit of working space, so I'm pulling all the water signs at different points. This one I might as well just spread. You got a lot of cards, and that's not typical. Usually when this many cards fall out, I just put them back. But I kind of glanced at them while I was doing that, and because they kind of fell out on like a rainbow spread, like you would a magazine on a coffee table. And they just kind of seemed to tell a story. So I thought, okay, we'll do it. And then I got 2 Romance Angel Oracle cards waiting for you at the end. Oh, sorry, my throat's just really sore. My day job is an educator, so I pick up all kinds of illnesses. And that's also why I only do personal readings on the weekends and only for a short few hours, because I'm almost always working. I do have a Capricorn rising, so that would explain a lot. Alright, this is supposed to represent you or your situation, just whatever, you know, the Holy Spirit wanted you to know whenever I was praying with Jesus, to Jesus. And this card popped out, Lovers Upright. Always a good card to see. And then, at least right off the bat anyway. And then this is the one that I would have picked just on my own, nothing popping out. And it was the King of Wands in reverse. And I think it's a good thing I pulled that out, okay? But going to the first one, the Lovers. Yeah. This is a big reading. So I don't know what you've been doing, Taurians, but you got a big story. There's a lot going on. I don't remember any of this from your other reading. I hope I didn't forget your reading. I think I did. I'm going to go back and watch that video. Make sure I didn't take a journal note or anything on it, so. Alright, so Taurians, this talks about, well, it's the Gemini card. So there could be a Gemini involved. Not necessarily. It's just mostly a union of romantic lovers. 2 choices. Then again, because of this triangle, sorry about that. Because of this triangle, there could be a love triangle. And another sign, another earth sign, got the love triangle card. 2 of the love triangle cards. Because I used the same deck. And I think this is the only way the cards could show me love triangle. Without the pertinent cards. But that's also what this could mean. Then again, it could just be that the angel Raphael is blessing this union. Maybe a marriage. This talks about attraction. Could be a marriage, but there's some choices in romance. You'll be overcoming some trials, but you're not in reverse, so there's not going to be a failure. It says there's no instability. Like, you're harmonious, there's good communication. Oop. Your union's being blessed with protection. But this is only if it's not a love triangle, okay? You should be secure. Could be fertile, but I don't really see that in the reading. I'll have to go back through the cards and make sure. This person's supposed to be your soulmate. But whenever I see this card, this means there's a dilemma, which would explain why it's in your situation. And you need to take an action or make a decision. Something's going to change your plans, or something is changing your plans. It may seem negative, okay? At least at first, but it will be a blessing in disguise. And here there's two choices between the right path and the wrong path, the easy and the difficult. So you might want to seek some guidance when you're making a decision because there is a wrong choice. But you need to examine your motives before you make a decision as well. Even though this talks about the union of opposites, it doesn't seem like there's really a fundamental difference in your relationship. But if you do have any kind of an issue, you need to resolve it. And I think you will. But it's your choice, okay? The next one, which I picked out of that, is the Knight of Wands in reverse. And I am not a fan of the Knight of Wands in general. Basically, this says, beware. Okay, it's a warning. It talks about a person that you met or you could meet at a party. They're hasty, very impulsive, and spontaneous is the nice word. They're a fast talker. You know, someone who talks so fast you can't understand what they're saying, and you only catch bits and pieces. This isn't you, by the way. This is someone else. Could be a fire sign. This person is untrustworthy. They're a smooth talker as well. Trying to see how it relates to any other cards. Okay. But there's been some kind of an interruption. Maybe somebody came in and interfered with your relationship, that third party we talked about. See, if there was the Three of Swords nearby, I would say it's a love triangle, but I don't see that either. But something came and just burst your bubble about your relationship. There's been some kind of division. You've been fighting. But I think you're still together. Like, you haven't changed residences or locations. And you're not really communicating with your lover. You're very hesitant. Or this person that you're in a relationship, you're wanting to be in a relationship with, if it's not a third party triangle type of deal, they're hesitant to be with you because they don't like anything that's demanding or commitment oriented. They just like to be flirtatious, and they're a commitment phobe, okay? This can talk about an immature but older man. Not old, because I mean, he's a knight. But he's not a page, he's not a king. He's in that middle stage, maybe middle 30s perhaps. But he doesn't like anything that causes him to have to be obligated. So if something is challenging to him, he'll pretend like he's bored and just kind of give up and depart. Yeah, he's known for being flighty, just being absent. This also talks about, this could talk about immigration, okay? Immigrating somewhere. So there could be a flight. You could be going on a journey somewhere overseas. Or this person could have come in. This could be an immigrant, because it talks about a dark young man. But again, in the general reading, it could be either gender or any gender. But this is an overall just a bad person. Not to say anything about immigrants or anything. That's just a particular option. It doesn't have to be an immigrant. but this person is not a good person. So if this is part of your love triangle, I'm sorry that your partner brought this paramour in, I guess. Then I got a lot of clarification cards. And funnily enough, the very first card that popped up for clarification when they all fell out, this was on top. Knight of Wands upright, which is the same card that I picked personally. So if I hadn't have picked that card, this would have come out. But the Knight of Wands upright isn't any better than the Knight of Wands reversed. He's the exact same. He's a commitment phobe, and because of this, he leaves destruction wherever he goes. He could have, okay, let's see, with you or your partner had some kind of a brief fling with, could be someone foreign, but not necessarily. Just someone who was very overwhelmingly flirtatious, not pushy, but they were just so good at smooth talking that somebody fell for it. And then he just took off, he or she. And it left you with this divided relationship. You realize, that this person was whispering false things to you. And you feel like a fool, or the other person, your lover, felt like a fool. And you have to deal with all this aftermath that they left behind. This other person in the relationship. So that's why you have this decision that needs to be made. Because this other person definitely changed your plans. They interrupted your life. And either you were the one that interrupted it, or you didn't have anything to do with this interruption. It just happened to you. And though it seems negative at first, like this card says, it could be a blessing in disguise. For instance, if your partner was so easily swayed by a third party, it could be that you needed to know that so you would have reason not to be with them anymore. Could be that you realize that perhaps you weren't pulling your weight in the relationship, and so you do your best to do more so that kind of thing wouldn't happen again, and maybe it brings you closer. I personally am not, I don't think that I could take someone back after a betrayal of that sort, if that's an exclusive relationship. But I'm not you, okay? But I think it's interesting we got two Knights of Wands. One's in reverse and the other's upright. So whoever this person is everything that represents the Knight of Wands. It's like almost like one time he's not there and then he's there. Or here, he was going into the future, then he's going into the past. He's never one spot at once, or the same place more than once. But the next clarifying card is the Queen of Pentacles. And it's in reverse. So normally this is a practical person. They're ambitious. They're just a great soul. When it's upright. This usually talks about a woman. So if you're a male in this reading and you're with a female, that's how you used to view your other partner until they've been unfaithful. And if you are the woman, whether you've been unfaithful or your male partner has been faithful, whatever has happened, there's now suspicion. So somebody's suspicious of their lover, or this person who came in is a suspicious person. Now, all there is this, I'm feeling like this person cheated on you, okay? So going that route, you have this taste for intrigue now. You want to know everything. If this is your partner represented by the Queen of Pentacles, this person's greedy. That's probably why they weren't satisfied with you. And then the good news is that now you see them for who they are and you can leave them. Very much a material girl. Here, this person is wealthy. They enjoy their wealth, they enjoy their life, but they're down to earth. Here, they're just materially minded. They they enjoy success. I think now this is you and your partner, because being a being a Taurus. Sorry, I just did Capricorn. Being a Taurus, you are very stable and work-minded. So you could be aiming for success, but you're not relaxing. You've been a workaholic. But your partner, I'm thinking that you're married. They married you or got engaged to you for your money. And they may just be evil. Like, you mistrust them, you can't trust them. And so you're always in this suspense, this fear that it's going to happen again. This means liberty. Here you're not free, you're held in suspense, almost like a captive. Long-term relationship, well, the short-term relationship that your partner had, or that you had, has ruined everything. You know, this is a careless person. They're tricky. They're not being very shrewd. And see here, it says go through a test before winning a person's heart. It's like earned loyalty. Does your partner was so taken with this other person that they didn't try to earn loyalty? Or maybe you're saying that this person who's cheated on you cannot earn your loyalty back. Yeah, I like that better. You're no longer being generous with this person anymore because you don't feel secure, you're not free, and you don't want to live your life that way. You don't want the struggle. Here, you usually help people who are struggling, and it could be your partner is struggling with some kind of emotional wound, and that's why they've performed this way. But mostly I just think they're not a nice person. Just like this person they fell for. I mean, honestly, they deserve each other. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back in your reading earlier and just see if any of this resonates, because this is very strange. I need another drink of coffee. Yours is going to be a long reading. Okay, next up is the Page of Swords. For a second, I thought he was missing an arm. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not. Perhaps you feel like you've been disarmed. Oh, not Page of... Did I say Page of Cups? It's supposed to be the Page of Swords. Okay, just in case. This isn't the usual deck. I only use this for clarification, the Lover's Tarot deck. But the Universal Rider-Waite has the sword upright. I think it's, yeah. They're kind of walking slow. This one has the sword down, which is probably critical that I pulled from this deck, because the sword down means defeat. No victory. Just trying to see what other cards were surrounding it. Well, at least you don't have the Devil nearby. You don't really need the Magician in here because you already got problems. And that's what he would have signified. Okay. I know this cannot be right. Are you kidding me? Okay. When the Page of Swords is upright, okay, it talks about an innocuous Delilah type. And innocuous means, innocent, not harmful. Kind of like when you get an inoculation, a shot, okay? It's supposed to not be harmful to you. Of course, that's not always the case. But this represents a Delilah. And this is the effeminate page. So if you're the woman and you've had an affair, a brief affair that didn't surmount to anything or didn't come to anything, you're probably feeling really bad. But if you're the male or in the male role and your female partner or someone in the female role was the one who cheated on you, they're a Delilah. They've tricked you. Now there's some unsettling rumors or mind games. But basically, be careful with your information. Or be careful what information that your cheating partner is disclosing, because somebody's going to spread secrets, your secrets. They're not going to be able to resist. It's probably this Delilah person. Whoever's the sneaky person, which would be either the Knight of Wands or your lover. And since the Knight of Wands is probably absent, I'm assuming it's your lover. This talks about communication. And earlier, it seemed like you weren't really communicating with your partner. Not only should you not reveal information, but just be cautious. Don't reveal information too soon, because it will lead to gossip and scandal. Somebody's been spying, I think, because you or your partner was unfaithful. There's some spying going on. You're just insecure. Okay, this is for the Taurians, and yet, it says beware, watch out for someone. And this card is reminiscent of Cancers or Scorpio. Not Scorpio. Why am I saying that? Cancers or Taurus. Okay? And you're Taurus. So, if you're a Taurian's lover and you're watching this video, I think it's telling you to beware. But if you and your partner both happen to be Taurians, you need to watch out for them. Or the person who was the one that came in and brought all this destruction. They're probably a Cancer or a Taurus. Just be vigilant, okay? Not as in spying. That's not saying spy on your partner. I can see how you would be driven to spy on someone after something like this. Or maybe you're being spied on if you're the one who's been unfaithful. I don't think this relationship is salvageable. In the reverse, it says it's hard to salvage the current relationship. It says it's hard to. Here, I don't think it's salvageable at all. Here it says wait for a better, more prosperous, harmonious time. Here, I don't think there's going to be that time. Your mind is sharp. Your thoughts are clear. You know what happened and you know what to do. Okay? The next card is the Seven of Pentacles upright. This is gains due to success, and that could be what attracted your partner to you more so than you. This talks about reflection, a little bit of frustration. Also, just something's growing. This is a card of gestation. Hopefully, when your partner cheated, they didn't get pregnant or impregnate someone with this other party. Because I think the other party's gone. I don't see them sticking around. you're reflecting on your heart, your treasure. It could be an unrequited love, but you're quarreling. And on another sense, this talks about innocence. So if you were unfaithful, you were almost it was almost like an innocent seduction. But if it was your partner, it wasn't. And you're thinking, why am I going through this? Because I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. Yet you're suffering some repercussions from it. You're basically questioning your lifestyle, your choices, and your relationship. And that's good. You need to reflect on that. Here it says if you hesitate, it's going to bring regret. Here, I don't think so. But this is a hopeful card. It reassures you that you're going to go through a period of growth, that an investment in yourself is worth the investment. It's worth it. If your partner happens to be pregnant and they're female, it may be worth the investment to stick around. Even if you were the one who was unfaithful and then your partner at home is pregnant, it would be worth the investment to stay. You could be worried about money, but you could be growing money as well. Like you're growing your money, and so it's going to lead to success. But right now you're just questioning your life, everything in it. But you have reason to be optimistic, okay? So have some faith. The next card is the Queen of Cups. This makes me think of Cancer. And earlier I told you about being aware of a Cancer. Even though I'm a Cancer and we're wonderful people. It's in reverse. So this talks about codependency. Perhaps your partner is dependent on you because they married you for money. So they depend on you materially. Emotional instability. Normally this means security, but here it's not secure anymore, okay? Normally, this is your partner. Normally this person is a safe harbor. Or, well, it could be you, yeah. This could be what you wanted. You wanted a good spouse, a good parent. You wanted to be admired. This person thinks with their heart, but you feel like you can't do that. You can't empathize with this person from what they've done. You feel like you can't go to them as like a safe kind of refuge anymore. And your partner feels like normally this person needs to be needed. Like they need people to need them. And you feel like your partner doesn't need you anymore because they did this. If you cheated, your partner's no longer compassionate towards you. Whoever this is either didn't or they need to put up some emotional boundaries because they can really feel other people's feelings. But right now you're detached emotionally. You're having to stifle your feelings. You're not free to talk about what you need to talk about. You don't have your intuition anymore. You're moody, you're suspicious, you're secretive, or your partner is. You're just an emotional wreck, and you're almost being forced to be vindictive. It's definitely a love triangle. And you're loathing yourself. You keep thinking that you could be more, you could do more. You don't feel like you have any talents. and you're turning to alcohol, drugs. You're feeling malice toward this person, whether it's your partner or the person they cheated with. You're feeling deprived. You had all this stuff that you thought was great, and now you don't have it because they were dishonest. Or you're being deprived of sex because you were dishonest and were unfaithful. But nothing here is calm, okay? The next card is the Three of Cups reversed. This is another card that's supposed to mean a love triangle, and it was in the other reading, but because I pulled from a different deck, I was able to get it again. This means you are not celebrating. You're not having a good time. Somebody wasted their life on pleasure, whether that's you or your partner. You're wasting your life on addiction now because of alcohol. You just can't deal with it. You might be having a lot of excessive behaviors, like overworking yourself, being exhausted, overindulging in food, spending money too much. You need to aim for balance. There's really not a solution to your problem other than to end it. You're not healing. You need to heal. There was a competition between you and someone else, and you didn't win. So they could have left you. Yeah. You're not having a good outcome. You need to get out and find someone else eventually. Because I feel like you don't have a conclusion yet, even though they've left and it's over, or it needs to be over. There's still some unresolved issues going on. You don't have closure. You don't have solace. Somebody they expedited, they left. And this is a dead-end relationship now. Okay, talking about imbalance and all of that, the next card is the Temperance upright. That means there could be an imbalance to excess. Something was short-term. Something was too hasty. So this is you. You were too hasty and you ended up in a short, brief fling. And that if you were to stay in this relationship, it will lead to imbalance. There's just lots of stress everywhere. You're fighting. Because of the conflicts, this says you need to express your conflicts clearly. And it may be that you just have to hash it out like a really big blow up so you can clear the air. That may be the closure you're looking for. Because if you do decide to work it out, why, I'm not sure. The only way you're going to be able to work it out is to fight. Then set up new rules, new boundaries. The last card is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This talks about you're missing your stability, your foundation. It was ripped out from under you. But it says have patience and hope. Because you could be provided a good outcome from this. Maybe that blessing in disguise. But this also talks about extraction. So either you or the other person will be extracted from the situation. Or it could be talking about that person who left. But yeah, again, you're worried about money. If you're the unfaithful party, you feel guilty. You're carrying this burden around. But you've lost someone. If you're worried about money, you could be getting a pension. This can indicate robbery. So if you've been robbed, not just of your romance, but of money, that could make you suspicious and obviously worried about money. I think that's stretching it though, but this can this can talk about theft or robbery. So if it's not about your relationship for some reason, if the cards just need you to know that outside of a love reading, be vigilant about that. Did you lose a partner? Like as in a fatality? And you got some kind of an inheritance or a pension or something from their death. And you feel guilty about the money. I'm not saying, well, hopefully you didn't murder them. Oh dear. I mean, if you're being driven to be vindictive, I don't know. Or it's mostly like head games and rumors from what I can glean from it, so I'm hoping that's not the case, at least not for the majority of you. Was there like some kind of a chance accident and your lover was killed? I don't know where that's coming from. That may be for a very select few of you. And then afterward you found out that they were unfaithful and they had had a baby with someone else. I hate to leave it like that, but that's all I have. And I'm not even sure if that last part was meant for anyone, but... Okay. Getting out the Romance Angel Oracle cards, you got two. The first one that came out was Passion. Somehow, if you're the one that's being cheated on, you don't have this. Your partner had this for someone. If you're the one who cheated, you fell for some passion with somebody who didn't have any intent of being with you. But hear me, it says let your soul sing, I think is what it says. So maybe you need to get out there and look for somebody to get that passion. Maybe you're still focused on whatever happened and this already happened in the past. And then the last one is Deception, which fits pretty well with this reading. Somebody's wearing a false face. It says someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. So you or your partner doesn't really see themselves for who they are. If it's like the Queen of Wands, who's a greedy, terrible person, marries you for your money, just a material person, they may not see themselves as that way, but they are. Or if that's you, okay? But somebody deceived someone. You can tell, there's 3 people here. So, third party again. Somebody cheated. Alright, Taurians. That's your reading for February's love of 2017. Alright, I'm moving on to the Virgos. Hello, Virgos. This is your love reading for February 2017. Okay, sorry, I'm drinking my coffee there. My throat's real sore still. Oh, this lozenge is lasting a long time. I've had it for all the readings so far. Okay, in your situation, whatever came out for while I was praying, this card, 3 of Swords, popped out upright. And then I pulled what I normally would have pulled, which is the 3 of Cups upright. Then you got one clarifier card, which is a lot different than the Taurians. They got about 8. And then you got some Romance Angel Oracle cards. But let's start with the 3 of Swords. And it's upright. This could be the most recent past, your current situation, or your immediate future. Virgos, I remember your reading that I did recently. It was about a relationship. And it wasn't good. At least not most of it. It ended up being pretty good. Again, I didn't pull your card, the Hermit. But this is mostly talking about a situation rather than people because there's no court cards. So this is just your situation in general. And then there'll be some clarifications and maybe some advice. With the Three of Swords, there's some kind of a on-again, off-again romance. I think this is in the past, or you're currently undergoing it. I don't think you'll stay in it. But you've gone through some heartache, a lot of pain and suffering. There's like this obsessive attraction to someone, and it's leading nowhere. If you're a woman, this could mean that you're choosing between 3 lovers. But there's some kind of division or a delay. You may not be compatible with a partner. Or if there's been a betrayal in the past and you're still with this person, you're just reliving the old hurts. But yeah, there's a love triangle, or there was. And you're having, I don't know if you were betrayed or you're betraying someone else, or if you're in a polyamorous relationship, but there's feelings from more people than what you would expect. Somebody's not thinking of you because they don't have the time. It could be that you are in a relationship that deals with more than one person and you feel like you're not getting your fair share. That's first looked for you, by the way. You could be broken up right now, but it'd be temporary. Nobody's making any apologies, though. I feel like you might still be in the triangle, or it's happened in the past. Like you're not coming out of it, like this would say. Like you're not in the middle of coming out of it. You're either still in it or it's already over. It's not current. But yeah, there's just a lot of hurt going on with relationships. Some kind of a betrayal's going on, or went on. The next card is the Three of Cups upright. So this lets me know there was a third party, because again we have the 3. Three of Cups, when it's upright, talks about a good time, a celebration, being magnetic and vibrant, getting out and finding someone. So I think you've been hurt in the past, and this is telling you to get out and find somebody, possibly at a party, like a celebration. Either you or the other person will be magnetic, and you'll be attracted to each other. You'll get that healing you need. You'll have a good outcome. You will have a solution to all this that happened in the past. And if you were in some kind of a love triangle competition, you actually got chosen. You were the winner. I don't know if that's something that you want to be proud of. Because if there had to be a choice anyway, and you're in a typical monogamous relationship, and they had to have that decision to make in the first place, I don't think it's worth it. But if you're in a less conventional relationship and you won, I guess congratulations maybe. But yeah, everything's gonna be concluded. You'll be almost perfect. You'll have solace. You may even pledge to one another to be faithful after this if you're together, because it was a temporary breakup. You'll feel fulfilled. Basically, you'll just be victorious. Because some partners can have some infidelity and then get back together, and it works. It just depends on who you are and what you believe. The clarifying card that I got is the Ace of Swords in reverse. Ace of Swords, this is thoughts and not actions, but this is actions. So I don't know if you need to take some actions or you took some actions because you were tired of whatever was happening. Like your relationship was suffering, but you just didn't have the willpower to overcome it. Yeah, your willpower's fading. Or it faded. You felt exploited. Somebody was unfaithful. And usually that's in an extreme case with this card, but that seemed to fit the reading. So this is an extreme case that happens to be true. If you're still in the relationship or you got back in, it's probably still going to be in danger. You know, okay, you triumphed over this third party, but it's like a hollow triumph. It's kind of forced because the fact that you had to fight over somebody anyway just doesn't make it worth it. And there's some kind of excess, either of love or hate. I can't tell you which one, I don't know. But in reverse, it talks about the excessive love and hate can lead to ruin. It could be that you're pregnant and that's maybe why you stayed. There's some kind of childbirth going on or some kind of fruitfulness. Something's multiplying. I'm thinking it's probably your stress from that past relationship. Maybe you... Okay, so talking about a 3 and a celebration. You know, despite all this heartache, you could have found out that you're pregnant. That would be why, talking about the fruitfulness, the multiplication, the conception, the childbirth, a little bit of stress, the third party. You could have been unfaithful, which I don't think is true, but maybe for a few, you were unfaithful and then got pregnant. Are you by any chance dating a Taurus? Because they had a lot of this same stuff. And none of the same cards, really, except for like 1 or 2. So, alright, Virgos, if you're dating a Taurus, one of you is unfaithful. And yet you're both pretty stable, so that's kind of unusual. You could also be dating a Capricorn, because they could be promiscuous right now. But I see something hasn't ended. We're not moving on right now. I think you're waiting to hear from someone. Maybe you let them know that you're pregnant, and so you're waiting to hear back from them. But see, if there was a 2 of Cups nearby, I would say that's pregnancy. But we have the 3. So I almost want to say that if you were separated, you got pregnant and then had the baby, and so 3 comes after 2, so the pregnancy's over. But somebody lost their feelings, or they're just not completely sure how they feel. And if you did have a baby, that would put some confusion on whether or not you should get back together. I don't see anybody who's doing real harm, like no abuse, no violence, nothing of that nature. Did you get married to this person? Either your old lover or a new lover? Or you got engaged, you pledged yourselves to each other. I'm hoping it's with a new person, okay? And that you're just still dealing with some repercussions from the old relationship. Because here we have honeymoon. So if you got married or are getting married, congratulations. Or you're just in that honeymoon phase of a new relationship. I don't remember a marriage, an engagement or wedding being in the last reading for Virgo. I do remember them finding someone new because their last lover was abusive. Okay, so since I'm not seeing abuse, I think you do have a new lover, and that puts me at ease. Or you will have one, okay? You're going to be done with this other person, because I hated that other person. They were not good for you. And you could have had children with them or been pregnant, and so you're just dealing with kind of the residual leftovers from that relationship. I would never call children leftovers, but there just can be some consequences of that relationship. But I think you're gonna have a honeymoon period. That's great. You need that. But Virgos, some of you out there didn't take the advice from the video, or you just haven't seen it yet. I mean, it does apply for the whole month of February, that's true. You still have some time. I think some of you didn't take the advice from the last reading, or you're not going to. Please take the advice, okay? Which is to find someone new, leave the other person. I mean, it could end up in a marriage and you go on a honeymoon, I mean. But some of you who didn't, I think you're going back to this person who betrayed you. You did some kind of a pledge. Please tell me you didn't get engaged or married to this person, or renew vows or something. And then, because this honeymoon phase in that instance is not a good thing, because it's just temporary. They're going to go back to their abusive ways. Because if you went back to them, I see forgiving and learning. This makes me think that you forgave them and took them back. Why you would do that, I'm not really sure. I mean, okay, Ace of Wands, when it's upright, says there's an impending disaster that can be avoided or prevented. Here, I'm hoping this means that if you leave this person behind after this heartbreak, that there won't be an upcoming disaster. Maybe it means if you do go back to this person that the disaster's coming and you cannot prevent it. See, you're talking about forgiving and learning. Maybe you think that you can forgive this person and work it out. But the advice is not to do that, okay? It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And that's the outcome I want for you. As you let this go and you heal it, in fact, this Three of Cups said you're going to have solace and healing with this new love that's coming in. I think you should be married to this other person. You should pledge yourselves, and then you go on your honeymoon. You forgive the old person for what they did, because otherwise it's just going to eat you up. But you have to release it. You can't go back to them. You may still be connected to them through a pregnancy. But if you do all that, you'll experience this love. The love I told you about in your other reading as well. You'll experience it. And your present or your immediate future will be better for it. All right, Virgos, that was your love reading for February 2017. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments and any insights you gleaned from this reading. Be happy.